baseball coach here at Sartell. I think this is my 13th year being the head coach. I've been here 19 years now in Sartell. And I just appreciate Rob trying to organize this to get more people to know more about the game of baseball. And I appreciate you guys making the effort to be here. A little bit about my baseball background. I grew up in Ely, and if any of you know stuff about Ely baseball, it's way up in the northeast corner of Minnesota, but it's a baseball town. Every other year they host a state or a regional tournament. I was digging through some stuff from to get for you guys in my organizational bins, and I couldn't find some stuff, but I did find a program from the 1980 World Series, Legion World Series, that was played in Ely, and it's autographed by Bob Feller and Ted Williams. And in that World Series, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's Will Clark was a big-time hitter for the San Francisco Giants. Sid Fernandez was a big-time pitcher. They both pitched in Ely during that World Series. So I grew up in Ely. I had an opportunity to play baseball at St. Scholastica after playing in a state Legion tournament, and they couldn't find me a dormitory, so I ended up going to a community college, and I ended up transferring to the University of Minnesota, which was the best thing that could have happened for me, because I ended up being a student manager there for 3 years. And I learned more in those 3 years about baseball than I have even the last 19 years of coaching baseball. Some of the handouts I gave to you are the same handouts they give to the players in Minnesota today. Baseball really hasn't changed a lot from the 60s to 70s to 80s if you watch the greatest players play. If you watch Ted Williams swing, his swing isn't that much different than Albert Pujols' swing is today. That holds really true. I'm going to speak for about 20 or 25 minutes now, and then I've got David Dominski coming. David was a former player of mine. He got drafted by the Twins 2 years ago. He was released last year, and now I always get the name of it mixed up, but I think he's pitching for the Traverse City Beach Bums. David is a teacher. He'll be here through May, and then he's going back to pitch in Traverse City. He's very willing to help out, so I do have his contact information. I know he's come to some of the stuff that Rob has held. It'd just be kind of cool for the kids to see or to have him around. He's back at the field. Our pitchers are still working out today. I did set up a site for youth baseball. I don't know if you guys have writing utensils. I can get you one if you need one, but if you go to a site called Schoology.com, and Rob, I don't know if you looked, but there should be a way where you can create an account, and I'll just get an email that it'll come to me, and it just says this person has created an account. With Rob pushing me, and I'm sure he'll remind me, my goal is to put up 1 or 2 clips for you guys a week of different drills that you can do, because our idea tonight was to talk a little bit and then have you watch us practice what I'm telling you right now. Unfortunately, it's just me here right now. But to get to this site, if you go to Schoology.com, whoops, I have the wrong thing there. It's going to ask you for a code. Let's see here. I'll write it bigger for you because I can hardly see it up here. Brent, there are some handouts here if you want. I should Alright. The passcode should be 7K 9CW dash VZ 42F. I've posted up some things on pitching already, some things on hitting. My high school kids, and I'll probably end up giving Rob the code, and if he sees something that thinks is applicable, but my high school kids actually, we have a site just for the kids that has different videos on different topics. We also have where we got it here. Rob, where's the kids' assignments on this thing? Because the kids have done some stuff. You know where they show up?
I don't offhand.
Oh, here they are. But here the kids have posted different pictures of hitters when they are striding or in their negative movement. That was it. So I give the kids assignments online every once in a while. If Rob wants to post some of these pictures for you, we sure can. This week we're working on negative movement, and I'll talk about it later, but when the hitters are going back, and that's a pretty good picture of Derek Jeter doing that. So that's the high school site, and Rob, I'll give you access to it so you can post anything you need to. Here's the youth site that I have some things up. This is the outline of what I'm going to talk about. This outline is on Schoology. So I've already talked about Schoology and how to get there. There's a great website on Major League Network's website. If you go to MLB.com and go to videos, this is on the, if you go to Schoology, you don't even need to write this down because you can just click on the link here. And I'll try to put the link up for you. But they have a site called Diamond Demos. Here to get it to work. I don't know what the internet's like in the business world, but this is what your kids go through as far as saying how fast our internet is. I'll come back to it later, but it is an awesome site. What they've done is they've taken, does cable have Major League Network? Like, do they have the MLB network on cable? I have a satellite. On MLB network, they have a show every night. And what they've done is they've taken cuts of, I don't know, of different players. Sometimes they bring the players in studio and they talk about different things that go on throughout a baseball game. It's a great site for you guys. It's a great site for the kids to say, hey, go take a look at Albert Pujols. There's a really good video that I posted on Schoology for you guys on Albert Pujols hitting off a tee. I don't know why the right link didn't go. I mean, there's nobody in the school. The internet should be a lot faster than this. But here they are, and you can see. Last night they had something on how to field balls at first base. This one talks about John Applebaum and his different pitchers. There's just a ton of things here that are short but really informative. Trying to find one here for you on. I don't know, it looks like it's almost blacked out, doesn't it, Rob?
Yeah.
But really good site. I thought one of the first things I'd show you is just some places where you can go on and get good information. Another site to take a look at, a lot of these books are available at Barnes & Noble. They're approved by the ABCA, which is the American Baseball Coaches Association. Here, a little faster. But these truly are really good instructional books. I brought one of mine with me here that you guys can pass along. This was written by a high school coach in Milwaukee. Human Kinetics is the site, but you can get these at Barnes & Noble, Amazon. If you go to Human Kinetics, you can see the different variety of books they have, but they're all really well written. When you get it, when it comes to you, you'll be able to see the different pictures and the different explanations. They're really good, well-written books. All right. Another site is abca.org. That's the American Baseball Coaches Association. It's pretty cheap to join, and you do get some mailings. The other thing that would be worth Googling is something called Collegiate Baseball. This comes out bi-weekly, but every month they have 2 or 3, every week, bi-weekly, they have articles on different topics of baseball. So this is Collegiate Baseball. It's part news and part drills, so it's another good source for people. So those are some sources for you guys. Baseball. I was talking to my neighbor. My neighbor played baseball in Minnesota, and he was talking about to me yesterday on how when he was in middle school and early elementary school, he was weak, wasn't very strong, but he had a really good work ethic. And he swung about 300 times a day in his garage. And he didn't blossom until the time that he was actually a junior in high school. And that's where things took off for him. And all of a sudden he went from a guy that was hitting 300 or below, and he hit like 460 his junior year, and that's when Division I schools took notice in it. So if you could get your sons and your teams to do a lot of repetition with the different drills that I'll show you in the different drills that you'll see here, you never know. But he said that he swung about 300 times a day. I was having a conversation with David, and he was watching some of our guys practice, and would give them the opportunity to hit in the cages or scrimmaging, and some of the guys weren't taking advantage of it. And David said, some of these guys don't realize that guys show up at the ballpark 5 hours before they actually play, and they hit in the cages for an hour and a half off of a tee or doing soft toss drills. Then they do defensive work for 90 minutes, and then they actually take batting practice on the field. So there's a lot of good repetitive drills that you can do at home. Hitting, what do we try to show the kids? In their stance, we try to get them to be shoulder width apart, a little bit pigeon-toed, and I'll show you why we do that in a second. Their weight should be inside their toes. Their grip, we try to get them, and this will feel odd for the kids, but it gets your bat in your fingers. We try to get them to have their knocking knuckles line up. So something like this. On the knob of the bat, we try to get it pointing in the opposite batter's box. So I'm right-handed. I try to get it pointed into the left-handed batter's box. Why do we do that? I don't know if you guys have seen this with kids before, but a lot of kids, instead of starting like this, will want to start like this, or start like this. what happens when you have your bat like this? Well, it takes about a half a second longer to go from here to where we actually want to hit the baseball. So we try to have the kids stand somewhat like this. Now our kids, we talk about, well, how come this guy can do this in the major leagues? He's a great athlete, that's why they're there. If you really want to keep it simple, get this knob pointed in the other batter's box. Another thing you can check with your kids is they talk, one of the misconceptions of hitting sometimes is to put your elbow up. Ask, even try this at home, if you're hitting rocks or hitting fungos, okay, when you throw the ball up, most people stand just like I am right now. They don't stand like this when they're getting ready to hit. Okay, this is a lot more comfortable position to be in than having your elbow way up. Plus, the first thing you do when your elbow's way up is it comes back down to swing anyways. So it's kind of wasted movement. So we just have their elbows nice and flexed, the knob of the bat's going in the other batter's box. Next, we try to have the kids have some type of negative movement. If you watch major league hitters hit, okay, they don't go from here and swing. They have some motion going backwards, and then they're going forwards. Why? You're the science teacher. It's Newton, right? Whatever goes in motion stays in motion. If I wanted to punch someone, I wouldn't punch them like this. I'd go like this and punch them. It's more momentum. So the first thing we try to do is when, at the high school level, what we try to do is when the pitcher is going back, we try to have our hitters go back. And some kids really struggle with that. They think that they're good enough that they don't need to do that they can stride when the ball's coming out of the hand. It's too late to load them for a lot of our high school hitters. So ultimately our goal is to hit the fastball. Even at our level, okay, we might see 2 or 3 pitchers this year that throw a curveball, 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 curveball. And even those pitchers, we're going to get one good fastball to hit. So our goal is to be on time with the fastball. Okay, so as the pitcher's going back, we're trying to get some type of negative movement. Then we want to place our foot down. I got this out of one of the Twins hitting instructor. They talk about placing your foot down instead of striding. And the reason why is even in the minor leagues, when you tell a kid to stride, they're going to take a stride. They're going to go way out. Well, what happened to my weight when I did that? It's all on my front foot right now. In fact, I can show you on my phone. I videotaped one of my kids today because I've been keep telling them, your weight's on your front foot, your weight's on your front foot. Hold on, that's David. At the high school. Yeah, in my room where you subbed.
Don't worry, I've been looking for you for 20 minutes also.
No, my fault. In my room. All right. Yeah, thanks, David. Bye. All right. So we go from negative movement to just trying to place our foot down. Now, a good thing to tell young kids is it's kind of like testing a lake. Okay, if you're going to go into 10 feet of water, you're not going to want to put your foot down like that to test the water. Okay, you're just going to want to place it down, like tapping your toe. And that's it. Another good cue for young kids when they're doing it with their negative movement in the front foot is, it's like if you had a rubber band with your hands and your front toes, we just want a little bit of a stretch with the rubber band, and that's it. Okay. You watch some of the guys that I posted, or guys in Major League Baseball. Are there guys that stride a little longer? Yes. Are there a lot of guys that do what I'm showing you? Yes. It's simple for young kids to do.